I don't want to throw out dollar amounts. I'll just say numbers. So right now, we're at a minimum of 8. Sometimes we do 10. We do a lot of volume, and that's what you've helped us with is volume. You've definitely grown our revenue and our the amount of jobs we're doing a day.
Hi everyone. Today I have my client Mr. Dante, who is in the cleaning business, and we are going to talk to him about how he started his business. And before we get into those things, I would like to ask him to introduce himself and speak a little bit about his business as well.
Okay, I'm going to try to speak loud just so the audio can pick up. But my name is Dante. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm the owner of Combat Cleaning Services here in San Antonio, Texas. We specialize in carpet cleaning, tile and grout, and upholstery cleaning.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the business, sir? When did you get started in the business?
Sure. So I got started in October of 2020. So my brother, he was stationed in Iraq. So my brother was stationed in Iraq and his battle buddy was with him there. His battle buddy started in 2014 in Rochester, New York. And so he was telling my brother about it. And so then my brother basically started in Killeen, Texas. And so when my brother started in the summer of 2020, he basically told me, hey, this is a pretty good business. I've always been a business-oriented person. Prior to doing this, I was a district manager for Cricket. I was a store manager for AT&T, just different things like that. So I've always had a high aptitude for business and managing business. And this was the first time I had an opportunity to actually own my own business. So I just jumped right in.
Okay. And cleaning is quite a different business compared to the work that you were doing earlier, like being a store manager and the corporate experience. So, how long did it take you to learn the technical aspects of the cleaning business as well as the business? And how long was the ramp up time for you, sir?
To be honest with you, I'm still learning every day. I feel like if you think you know everything, then you know nothing. So I'm still learning every day. Every day out in the field, there's different things that I'm learning, or at least there's different things that I'm applying to knowledge that I have learned. I'm always watching other videos and things of that nature. So if I'm being honest with you, I haven't stopped learning. But as far as just if we're talking just going into a house and cleaning carpet, that didn't take very long to learn at all. I mean, it may have taken a day to learn the motions, to learn the physicality of it. But as far as chemistry, what I'm looking at and things of that nature, I'm still learning all the time. There's still different things that I try on the van to just try to improve myself. I feel like I always tell I always tell the guys that I work with and anyone that's listening that I don't view the competition. I only compete with myself every day. I just compete with myself to be a better business, a better cleaner, a better everything than I was the day before.
And when you were starting the business, sir, did you quit your job and start immediately, or how did you transition from your corporate work to owning your own business?
So I did start part time. To be honest with you, I started in October and the end of October, and by November, that first month of November, I had made about 3 times the amount that I would in my corporate job. I was still a little nervous, however, so I held on for like another month, but it took me about 60 days to leave corporate America and to fully jump off the porch and do this full time.
Okay. And when you were starting, sir, what was your initial investment in the business? How much, if someone is starting out, how much do they need to get started in the business?
Uh Honestly, it really depends on the person. To be honest with you, it really depends. I mean, I see guys out here that have been in business for 30 years with portables. There are local companies around here that will rent you a portable a day. So there's not an amount that I could say that I can't give anyone a dollar amount that would work for them. For me, I started with about, the van was 15,000. All of the equipment was about 3,000, and then I got with a person that did ads similar to yourself. That was 1,600. and that pretty much launched everything. So I'd say, for me, again, everyone's different, but for me, it was about 20,000.
And did you take any loans, or how did you manage the whole amount? Or did you have savings that you used at that point of time?
I used every single dollar of my savings. My wife took out a loan. And then to be completely honest with you, my van came from my brother. I bought my van from my brother. Um, I bought it from him. I was paying him $500 a week until I paid it off. So I was blessed with that, to be honest with you. But I bought all my equipment myself. Everything, the money that I sent for the equipment, I bought all of that. My wife took out a loan. So I'd say out of pocket, I probably shelled out about $3,500, maybe $4,000 out of pocket.
Okay.
But then, like I said, I was paying $500 a week for my van until it was paid off.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business, sir? Like, how big is it? How many team members do you have? Are you the only person, or do you have other team members as well?
No, so I have 2 vans. So I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and we pretty much split the city. One van covers the east side of San Antonio. The other van covers the west side of San Antonio. Both vans cover north and south. And I have 2 other team members with me, 2 guys that are on the vans full time. And I just jump from van to van. Sometimes I ride with one guy. Sometimes I ride with another. Sometimes I don't have to get on the van at all, and I'm just quarterbacking at home, making appointments and things like that, marketing, things like that.
And I hear from a lot of business owners when I speak to them that they have a challenge finding good team members, whether it's part time or full time. So how did you overcome that, sir? What was your strategy in finding good people who are willing to spend time in your business and kind of treat it like their own business?
Again, everybody's different, right? For me, I started out with people that were strangers to me, to be honest with you, and I couldn't keep people either. It is hard to keep people motivated, to keep them wanting to work, to keep and to have someone to care about the business like you care about it. So, to be honest with you, I had to go with friends and family. The 2 guys that work with me now, my 2 teammates, they're my nephews, and I can't speak for everyone else. Again, everyone is different. But for me, that kind of was just, they were sitting right there in my face the whole time. But, I thought I had to go out and get, these guys that I never met before and things of that nature. And that doesn't work for everyone. But I know for me, a family business for me has proven to be a lot more beneficial than just getting someone off the street. Doesn't mean I'm opposed to that.
Mhm.
But with having my nephews in place now, they both been with me now. Like I said, I've been in business for 2 years. They both have been with me for at least almost a year. So it's proven to be beneficial. So now I'm more confident in getting someone, not off the street, but getting a stranger. Now I'm more confident.
And what are some of the challenges that you faced, sir, when you were starting your business? Did you face any specific challenges, business-wise, or in terms of cash flow or anything else, or equipment? And how did you overcome that, sir?
So the biggest challenges that I faced is I didn't buy things brand new. As far as my van wasn't brand new. My truck mount wasn't brand new. So my biggest challenges were days when the truck mount would go down and I had clients or, things of that nature. That the biggest thing I learned is when you start out, you want to have more than one. So I immediately got a second van as soon as possible, just so I could, I wouldn't be in a position where I couldn't do anything. But that was my biggest challenge, was just things not working every single day. The biggest thing I learned was when I was in corporate America and something went wrong, there was somebody that I could turn to. There was a boss ahead of me. There was a boss above me that could fix it. Somebody could fix it. But when you're in business for yourself, no one can fix it but you. You're the last answer. So the biggest obstacles I had to face was just learning that I either had to, bite the bullet or I was going to fold. So it was times where, I mean, I remember one time I had an electrical issue on the van, and it was like a $1,500 fix. And that sounds crazy, $1,500, but when you know you can make that back in 3 days, you have to just shell that out. You have to, dig deep and just do what you have to do. But it was hard to think about that because I never had those kind of expenses just pop up out of nowhere. I mean, someone tells you, oh, it's gonna be $2,000 to fix this. I'll get you back on the road tomorrow. It's like $2,000. That's a crazy amount of money. But when you're in business and you realize that you can make that money back in 2 days or a day, then you have to really, you got to stay strong.
How did you, when you're on the job, sir, you would sometimes at least come across customers who are not very happy either with the job or, if you're not able to meet expectations or, if there's some kind of a mismatch. How do you handle difficult customers if you come across them, sir?
So once you're on the job, you just have to, again, that comes down to biting a bullet. Once you're there and you realize this client is difficult. But what I will say is I do gauge my clients before I take on the job and get a feeler for them, because not every client is the client that's a good client, a good fit for our business model. And that happens. There are clients that I can just tell from the initial conversation it won't be a good fit for me. Clients that start off by saying, oh, it's just a small, or and it is what it is. It's nothing personal.
Yes.
But I've just learned that certain keywords for me are red flags. But if I don't catch those red flags initially and I'm at the job site and it's difficult, I bite the bullet and just do what I have to do. I don't walk a job once I've started it. I'll walk a job before I start it if it's that bad. But I once I start it, we finish it.
What's your average job ticket size, sir? What's the average job price for your jobs?
For carpet, our average job ticket for carpet is 150. For tile and grout, our average ticket is about 650. And that's again, that's average, because I know other cleaners are gonna hear this and say, "Oh my God, my minimum's 150." That's great, good for you. But that's our job. Yeah, 150 is our job average. And I mean, if that's some people's minimum, that's awesome too. I mean, one day I hope to get my minimum up to 150, but that's our job average. We do a lot of we do upsells a lot. We solely believe in upsells. I mean, yeah, that's where we make our money, upsells. But our job average is 150 for carpet and 650 for tile and grout.
And once you're at the job, sir, and you're upselling them, or rather, I think of it more like educating them, because usually
Absolutely.
you go and you tell them, your tile can be looking much better, and we can do a better job on the tile, or your upholstery can look new. Usually, the customers, if they see a small demo, they will be willing to get that cleaned as well. How much more are you able to increase the job ticket once you are in, sir?
Well, one thing I learned in retail was building value.
Yes.
So I don't just go to a client and start upselling just based off of me trying to, increase a ticket.
Yeah.
But we build value and we build value first, then we position our upsell. So basically we talk about what's going on, we educate the client on the process, things of that nature. We build the value on the cleaning. We build the value on what we've done so far, and then we pitch our other services for a Scotch Guard. And again, that's just building value. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, this cleaning is coming out outstanding. If you don't want to see me again in a few months, I'd recommend you get, Scotch Guard treatment on your carpet. You do have some well taken care of carpet here. A lot of maintenance clients, usually those maintenance clients, they really want to hear things like that. But we build value first before we upsell anything.
How are you collecting reviews, sir? Do you do anything specific for collecting reviews for your business and growing that area of your business as well?
We ask for reviews.
Okay.
We straight up ask for reviews. There's no shame in asking someone to review the services that you have just rendered. There's no shame in it whatsoever. We ask for reviews though, I know everyone, loves Google reviews, and I get it. We have Google reviews as well, but where we particularly like to have our reviews placed are on Facebook neighborhood pages. Um, Typically, especially if it's in a neighborhood where we want to be, if it's in a higher end clientele, we typically ask, hey, if you're satisfied with the services that were rendered today, we greatly appreciate if maybe you left a review in your neighborhood Facebook page. And it's allowed in the Facebook communities. Usually what happens is you can just, a client can go in and say, hey, I just had such and such, I just had combat cleaning services here. What an outstanding job, so on and so forth. They could just leave it at that. Now, when they start selling the services, then it's something different. Then they might take it down or whatever the case may be. But if a neighbor just goes in there and says, this is what just happened in my house, these guys did this, they were great. Honestly, that does a lot. So one thing it does is it keeps you in that community, right?
Yes.
So with gas prices and things like that going up, if you find a community that's closer to the office, and you've got everybody in that community ranting and raving about you, you don't have to travel as far, right? That's number one. Number two, neighbors like to do what's called keeping up with the Joneses. So when they see that their neighbor is letting you into their home, then they're thinking, oh, well, if John will let those guys in there, then I know they'll be good to come into my home, or whatever the case may be. So for us, that's our biggest customer retention, or that's our biggest way of gaining reviews. We do have the automated system that does send, the Google reviews and things like that, but we really like our views to be on Facebook. And a lot of that also is because Facebook is real. You can see someone comment and say, yeah, they did a great job. And then you can go to that person's page and you can see, oh, this is a real person. This is not a bot.
Yes.
Oh, this person, we have 11 mutual friends.
Yes.
So that's just for us. That's what works for us.
And you mentioned asking customers to post in the community, sir. Apart from the ads and the posting in the community, is there anything else that you do to get customers without spending on advertisement?
So one thing we do when we walk into a home is we give our clients a flyer with a list of all of our services. We might be there to clean carpet, but while we're there, you have a flyer in your hand letting you know that we do upholstery as well. We do tile and grout as well. We ask to perform demos on tile and grout all the time, no matter what. We always ask to perform a demo. But outside of Facebook or reviews, I mean, really, the only thing we can really ask for is, hey, if you like the services, please spread the good news with your friends and family. That's really about it.
Yeah. If anyone was getting started in the industry, sir, what's your biggest piece of advice for them? Anyone who's either studying or maybe they're in a job and they want to switch into a cleaning business. Given your experience so far, sir, would you ask them to get into carpet cleaning or a different service, or any other advice that you would have for them, sir?
My advice would be, especially if you're the business owner, obviously, if they're getting into this business, they're the owner, right?
Yes.
My advice would be, yes, learn as much as you can about the industry that you're in as far as carpet cleaning, but just remember that you're a salesman first. You're in the business of sales. You're not doing this for free. So you're selling them on your company. You're selling them on what your company can provide for them. So being that you're a salesman first, because they came to you because you're selling a service, you need to sell all of your services. Just remember you're a salesman first. And there's so many things that you could sell. Yes, the chemistry is important. Cleaning carpet is very important. You must know what you're doing. You want to be good at it. You want to be thorough at it, of course. But ultimately what grows your business is revenue. And you want to generate revenue while doing a great job. So I guess keep an even balance of both. Because I know a lot of guys that can tell you everything about a truck mount, and they can fix their own truck mount from top to bottom, and they know everything about chemistry, but they can walk into a client's house and they have the personality of a rock, and they don't sell themselves. They only sell their skill.
Yeah.
And that's great. But I've had clients that they become friends. I have a client who he's now my fleet mechanic. He works on our vans. He was a client initially. We built a relationship. He's now our personal mechanic for our vans. So, and that came from just selling myself, speaking to the business, but also speaking to the client. One of the things that I practice with our teammates is FOR, family, occupation, recreation. When you speak to those three things, when speaking with the client, you're in the door.
Yes, yes. Uh, I also had a question about expansion, sir. So let's say if someone has a single truck, and a lot of people are owner operators, they have a single truck, and if they are thinking about expanding and starting a multi-truck business and going from at least one to two in the initial phase, what advice would you have for them? What's something that you wish you knew when you were buying another truck or expanding your business from from being a owner operator to a multi truck operation?
I wish I knew that all of these cleaning companies were not using their own money and they were using the bank's money and they were getting loans and they were leveraging their credit, because I was using my own money. Uh, and now I've learned to leverage other people's money to build my business and things like that. But initially, when I initially just thought like, okay, there's money to be made here, but how much money are these guys making that they can get 4 and 5 trucks and 6 trucks? Well, they're leveraging their credit. So I would say the biggest piece of advice I would have for anyone is, if possible, leverage your credit, or leverage other people's money outside of your own hard cash flow.
And I also wanted to ask you, sir, we've been working together for a while. How did you hear about me, and what made you, reach out to me for promoting your business?
Uh, Honestly, I saw you in a group. It's called Cleaners Connect, and I just you were very responsive. Anytime someone said they were looking for someone, you were one of the first people that would just comment. And for me, if you go to my Facebook page, our business Facebook page, and I think it's like if you click on messages or things like that, our thing says typically responds within minutes. And a lot of our clients in our reviews, the first thing they say is the communication was great. They responded immediately, things of that nature. I pride myself on response time. It's not that easy when I'm on the van, but also, at the same time, I'm never on the van by myself. So I'm able to get to my phone and just respond to clients immediately. But to me, to be honest with you, it was your response time. You just were, it's like you had your hand on the pulse of what was going on. And like I said, every time someone asked for someone to do their marketing, or whatever case may be, you were the first person to comment. So it just stuck out to me.
And can you speak a little bit about the kind of impact that my work has had on your business? How has your business grown since the time we started working together?
The business has grown, I would say, in revenue, because revenue and traffic both. I mean, we used to do, again, I had 2 vans, I got 2 guys, but I mean, I don't want to throw out dollar amounts. I'll just say numbers. We would do between 2 vans, we do 5 to 6 jobs a day. Right now, we're at a minimum of 8. Sometimes we do 10. It just depends. And again, everybody's different. There's some cleaners that might see this video and say, oh, I only want to do 1 job a day, and that's cool. That's great. I get it. For me, as a growing business, my business needs to be out in these neighborhoods every single day, as many times a day. That's for me. That's how I feel. So as of right now, we do a lot of volume, and that's what you've helped us with, is volume. Down the line in the future, maybe the volume will be lower and the ticket will be higher. But right now, our volume is what's pushing us through right now at this point. I mean, if I was on the van by myself as just an owner operator, yes, I'd be doing 2 a day and I'd go home. But I have 2 other guys that depend on me. Like, I'm the only job they have. My company is the only job they have. So I have to make sure that these guys are taken care of. I have to make sure that our brand is out there, the brand awareness is out there. I mean, I'm at home at 7:40 at night, and I still have on my shirt because I wear it everywhere. On Sundays, I go out to eat with my family. I have on my uniform, so brand awareness is key for me. But you've definitely grown our revenue and our the amount of jobs we're doing a day.
And if someone was thinking about working with me, sir, and they're on the fence, because there are other people out there in the market as well who provide the same service I do, what would be your advice to them, sir?
I don't know what you do as far as how you target the clients. I don't know what you put the ads on, but the clients that we've gotten through your ads are a lot more serious, and they are willing to spend a higher dollar. One thing I noticed with your ads, for some reason, I don't know why, we don't get a lot of move outs. We get move ins, as in they're buying a new home and they're moving in,
Okay.
or we get a lot of maintenance clients, which those clients tend to spend a little bit more money because they value what they have in their home a little more than someone that's just moving out. And I don't know, again, I don't know how you target it. I don't know if it could just be magic. I don't know, but your clientele that you brought to us has just been a higher end clientele that we could appreciate a lot more.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. Is there any piece of advice that you would have for people who've been in the industry for a while? Let's say there are a lot of business owners who are in the cleaning business for 20, 30 years, and you're someone who's new in the industry. Do you see these established business owners, and do you feel that maybe they should be doing something different, or either to improve their business, or anything else that you would give them advice on if you get a chance?
I would say that a lot of business owners need to open up to networking with other businesses. And again, no one is your competition except for yourself. And I think that some, not all, some cleaners feel like they're in competition with other cleaners, and you're not. You're in competition with yourself. And again, like I told you earlier, when you asked me how long it took for me to learn, I'm always learning. And I think that some of the cleaners who have been in business for a long time, they think they know it all, or they've learned it all. And unfortunately, that's just not true. Again, if you can't be taught anything, then you know nothing. So I would just say that a lot of cleaners should look into networking more, and instead of trying to compete with others, just compete with yourself.
And we're getting kind of close to the end of the call, sir. But I wanted to know from you, if you were to expand in future in terms of either the services you're providing, or or just growing your business, how would you go about doing that, sir? Do you have any specific services or any other growth plans in mind?
Uh, my growth plans involve, this is just me, my growth plans involve my family. Again, I have my nephews that work for me. I have a son who is 17 and another son who is 15. So for me, my family business will continue to thrive, as far as growing it through them being younger, uh, being a little bit more fit, and being more in tune with technology
Yeah.
and with the way things are going. I mean, these guys make TikTok videos. I don't even have a TikTok. So for me, I think that the growth is going to come with staying in tune with those that are may not, I would say maybe younger than you, but they have a different grasp of reality. I can't I can't see myself growing with like-minded individuals that are like me every single day. I don't see that as growth, compared to my 21-year-old nephew who can make a TikTok video in 37 seconds and he comes back to me, he's like, "Oh, I got X amount of views." I'm just like, "What does that mean?" But that's where my growth and expansion is going to come from, through my family and through my sons.
And one final question, sir. How has your personal life changed after you became a business owner?
Uh, I don't have one. I don't have one. I mean, I have my family. Uh, my family is, again, I work with my family every day. My wife helps out in the business. As far as my personal life, um, I, I, I mean, I'm, I spend a lot of time with my family. That's the only thing I can say. Is I spend a lot of time with my family. Every Sunday we go out to lunch. Every single Sunday, no matter what. Um, but as far as a personal life, for me, I see things. I look at bigger picture. I look at 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I don't look at just today or tomorrow. So as of right now, personal life would be my family. And of course, I know there's going to be people that'll probably say, "Oh, you got to shut down every now and then. You got to unplug." And I do when I'm with my family. So
All right, sir. That was a very interesting piece of advice, sir, because I do know I am a business owner in some sense. So I know it's easy when you're in a corporate job. You do the 9 to 5 and then you can forget about it, forget about it once you're outside. But when it's in your own business, then you think about it all the time.
absolutely, 100%. You wake up to it, you go to sleep to it, you dream about it. It's it's a beautiful nightmare,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Right. Those are the only questions I had, sir. I want to thank you for taking time out. I know it's evening over there and it's family time right now, but I want to thank you for joining me on this call as well as being one of my clients. And it's been a wonderful journey. And I also wanted to thank you for sharing the details of your business as well as your journey itself. I'm sure a lot of people will see this and they will be inspired to take actions, and maybe some of them will reach out to you for advice as well.
No problem, man. Thank you. If anyone's wondering, the rate that you charge can be made back in one job on a tile and grout cleaning, just so you know, or on a carpet cleaning. We had a carpet cleaning job booked with us today based off one of your ads, and the ticket was about 400 and something dollars, and that's before we've even been with the client. That's before we've offered Scotch Guard or anything of that nature. So I thank you for helping scale our business to a higher revenue and a lot more volume.
Thank you, sir. And I'll speak to you again during our next call. Have a great day ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. You have a great night.